Now turn our focus to the other big story from the neighborhood. Well, the latest in terms of Pakistan-China relations. The two sides met. There have been a spate of incidents where CPEC projects have been targeted. China has been asking for boots on ground time and again, something that Pakistan has resisted. But how long can it do so? Now, there have been talks on counter-terrorism, but of course the pretext is that China's second highest ranking military general is in Pakistan right now, of course seeking boots on ground. Will that lead to Pakistan's sovereignty being compromised any more than what it is already? And the security implications of this for India is now the key question that we are asking. And joining me from Beijing is Einar Tangen, who is well known to, of course, be speaking pretty much what the Chinese official version has been. I hope you're going to be candid today. Let me start by asking you that this conversation, in fact, this meeting between Chinese and Pakistani officials are taking place at a time when CPEC projects are facing a lot of attacks. There have been talks about how China may scale back on Pakistani investments and how it wants to get Chinese army on ground. Do you see that happening going forward?
Well, I don't know if it'll be the Chinese army, but there is an argument that they would like to have civilian contractors who are charged with protecting the many Chinese engineers and workers who are working on CPEC. This has been a bone of contention between Pakistan and China. Pakistan has said that they would take all measures necessary, but they seem to be softening these days and readily admitting that perhaps some assistance would be useful.
I see this, having Chinese security forces on Pakistani soil is probably just a step away from sovereignty being lost.
Well, I don't think having a few soldiers who are offering protection to somebody means that you've lost your sovereignty. After all,
it means you don't trust the Pakistani forces, right? You want your own boots on ground.
Yes, the idea that somehow that China wants to take over Pakistan, given the realities on the ground, I think even you would admit that is highly unlikely. China has a huge investment, $26 billion in CPEC. They want to see it through. They have this kind of a vision, as we saw in South America, where they believe that having ports, highways, and rail is something that will help development. And this is one of the original projects, but it is behind schedule. There are issues, but it doesn't mean that there's going to be either a pull away from Pakistan or somehow Chinese troops are going to invade it.
These investments are in multiple countries under the BRI scheme. You don't have security forces in all the countries where you are rolling out projects. It means it's a scheme being designed specifically for Pakistan and specifically for Pakistani territory.
Well, actually, that's not true. There are, in fact, Chinese.
In all countries, there are Chinese forces?
Not all. Look, let me answer. I didn't say all countries. I was pointing out to you that there are Chinese private contractors who are doing work in the Middle East and Africa, but they're doing it on a small scale. And it's not like other forces out there, private security forces that are actually fighting wars. They're just offering protection to VIPs, executives, etc. And in fact, in Myanmar, China has also made the same arrangements that they would like to be able to have private security be there so that they can, in fact, protect Chinese executives and interests.
Fair enough. You have this arrangement maybe in more than one unstable country. But tell us, in terms of the larger design that CPEC has, the corridor, of course, is a major security threat when it comes to New Delhi. The fact that China continues to invest in this corridor, the fact that it's willing to now get its own security forces to ensure that those projects are up and running, investments are protected, also indicates, sitting here in New Delhi, the perspective that one gets is, the sense one gets is that there is more to these projects than just common economic goals.
Well, you can project whatever you want. You can say that you think that China's going to take over Pakistan. I don't know exactly what you're getting at. But the fact is that the quickest route from A to B was through area which China and Pakistan dispute. But the hope was that these countries would come together and realize that, in fact, their destinies lie in peaceful negotiations and settlement and trade, not through this kind of tit-for-tat warfare, or I shouldn't say warfare, tit-for-tat tensions that continue to be part of it. I mean, Pakistan is obviously undergoing some very, very difficult times economically, socially, and politically. This is not the time to try to destabilize it. I don't understand sometimes why my Indian friends say, well, we don't like Pakistan, we think they're against us. But a Pakistan that is unruled, that is just spreading out across the areas, could be a real danger to India. And so I don't understand this constant idea that Pakistan has to be put down or put in their place.
I did not say that India's interests lie in an unstable Pakistan. I never said that. In fact, instability of Pakistan, I haven't even asked you, because that has separate and important ramifications, sir. And the fact that an unstable Pakistan with Chinese security forces on ground actually means that the security implications for India just multiply, which is why I asked you about the sovereignty being the #1 question.
How do they multiply? Please explain to me. You keep saying that this is a threat to India. How would a trade route be a threat to India?
It's not just a trade route, sir, and I wish we had more time, but that's television. We will chat about this offline, and I will tell you why I feel there is more to it than just being a simple trade route. The reason why countries around the world question BRI, India is not alone. Around the world, those questions are being asked because it's not just a trade route. Thanks much for taking out the time and speaking to NDTV and India Global.